Guess what? I'm here with Miles Johnston, and we're going to talk about Tartaria because he's an expert. He has a channel about it.
Yeah. The Tartarian architecture and structured buildings, a lot of it's still standing. And this means it's relatively recent. This idea that was maybe mud floods thousands of years ago or hundreds and hundreds of years ago, it doesn't work. These buildings are intact. Some of them have actually been covered up with mudslides, like in Oslo, but the technology is still there. Not all of it was destroyed. Something has happened in the early 1800s. Something has arrived, something or other. They've shut down all the existing electrical architecture that happened then, rewritten it and rebranded it under fake, engineered, false mathematical equations like Maxwell's equations. They're the fundamental equations that we use today in electrical theory, and it's been fixed, it's been fraudulently altered when they converted it from quaternions to the algebra that we use today in mathematics, and it's missing crucial information, and that is so we must keep burning oil or coal to make electricity. That has always been a fraud, and Tartaria is continuing to knock on the door. I am convinced that Tesla didn't invent a lot of his technology, he managed to hide it. It's actually Tartarian science, the original true science of electrical power, and he's managed to hide that in plain sight. So if we look at the Tesla patents and what he's actually got hidden in there, with a wider perspective, we will find the secrets of Tartaria.
Where can we find the Tesla patents?
So the Tesla patents, there's patents books. But for instance, we have people in England working on a Tesla cold steam engine. But that was hidden. The Tesla patent was split in two and hidden in the US and British, the UK patent books. They separated those two patents by about 1,000 numbers. So it's taken a very great deal of clever thinking to join that single patent back into one. Because the numbers on the patent are 1, 2, 3. Objects number 1, 2, 3. And then on the next patent, which is 1,000 patent numbers away, you have the other half of the machine saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's a scientist, there's an engineer in England who's joined the two together, and he's using now modern science and technology to do 3D printing and frictionless bearings to make room temperature air into a fuel to power turbines.
And this is Tartarian.
It's called the Tesla cold steam turbine.
And this is, you believe, Tartarian
that
technology.
Kind of technology
yeah.
goes back before.
What about Mu? How does Mu relate to Tartaria?
Mu and all that is 26,000 years ago.
Okay, so Mu was first.
We're now at that time when the Earth's crust is going to shift, and we're going to go back to what happened 12,500 years ago.
Right, so there was Mu first, and they had that technology, they probably passed it.
All of that, yeah.
They passed it to Tartaria.
Yeah, but the Tartarian buildings that we see today cannot be 26,000 years old.
Right.
So they had access to that technology as recently as the 1800s.
Right. And how are we going to get this word out?
We have to see through the lies of J.P. Morgan and the scientists who rewrote the Maxwell equations at the end of the 1800s, thereby corrupting electrical power science today.
And that's how we'll find out how they did it and may be able to use that technology ourselves.
We need to go back to Maxwell's equations as they were originally written in quaternions, not algebra.
Okay.
And then you will find the terms which give you the other parts of the equation which are missing. There's another gentleman called the Hunt for Zero Point, Tom Bearden. The late Tom Bearden makes a concept, energy from the vacuum. And he was a scientist, he only passed away about 10 years ago. And he explains this in his books, Energy from the Vacuum.
Energy what?
Energy from the vacuum.
From the vacuum.
You could say energy from the ether.
Okay. And All right, so how do people contact you or reach you or get more
Well,
information?
I'm the Basis Project, and my new website is out to be platformed by YouTube, so on basistv.com. We found out that Germans were making transgenic beings in World War II, and they brought that technology to England, and in England they started making aliens,
Oh, and that's why you called it Basis.
plural of underground base.
So, basistv.com.
.com.
And your name again?
Miles Johnston, and it's a new website. We've only just got all our 25 years, 30 years of work reloaded, and you can't trust anything on YouTube. So,
Right. Okay. Well, so thank you so much.
happy days.
Okay.